arguably the most important thing after your training is going to be your food, your nutrition, your input. So, full day of eating, I've not done one yet, or if so, I've not done one in a very, very long time. So, it's about that time now. I will show you guys what I eat in a day on a training day as well, because we're in for upper later. As you can see, tired eyes, tired face. It is early doors. First batch of check-ins have been boxed off, and now I'll go down and make my meal one. But yeah, training day, full day of eating. Let's get into it. Food is low, so I'll show you guys how I'm managing that appetite, etc. Whilst I'm in the middle or the back end of my diet. Woke up this morning, 77 kilos on the nose. So you guys might get an update later as well, a physique update post upper, we will see. But we've got a busy day today. We've got training, we've got food to film, we've got a call with the gents, Adam and Elliot, later on today. So let's get straight into it. You might be seeing some B-roll after this very point here, because my air fryer loves making a ton of noise. But the first meal, straight in the air fryer, nice and easy one. So people, about 8 o'clock and my first meal going down, which is 3 eggs, 100 grams of spinach, 4 very crispy bacon medallions, and a gram of salt. That'll go down with some fluid, and my first batch of vitamins. I basically, with my first meal, have my D3K2 and my omega-3 because they are fat soluble. So I have done with this meal because obviously fats. That way I can make sure they're dissolved how they should and they're utilised efficiently by my body, basically. Having that on an empty stomach won't create the same effect, not in my opinion anyway. So I always tell people to have it with a fat soluble meal one, preferably. Obviously, if you're not going to train immediately. Then I've got vitamin C, something that I actually say take 3 to 4 hours away from your training window, because it will reduce inflammation, which is the opposite kind of what you want to do during training. I don't mean like inflammation in a negative way. I mean like producing pumps. It will reduce that sort of inflammation, so you want to keep vitamin C away from the training window. So when people say vitamin C in the morning, well, not necessarily. If you do train fasted, then you want to take it in the PM actually, away from your training window. And then I have a multivit, which is essentially a multivit. I take that whenever I want to, usually in the morning. So these 4 will go down in the morning to my meal 1. If I'm training off my first meal, then I'll take my omegas and my D3K2s. My vit C will get backloaded to further in the day to keep that away from training. So yeah, sups and the meal 1 sorted. I need to get on with another work block, crack on, and catch you guys in a brief mo. I'm also very much enjoying these at the moment from Aldi. They're like lemon and ginger infusion bags. You could probably make them yourself at home, but I don't have the time to do so right now. So buying these from Aldi, 1 a day, keeps whatever the fuck I got 2 weeks ago away. Yo, a few steps, people in between meal 1 and meal 2. And although people do laugh at, wow, the exposure peppered, people laugh at digestion walks and stuff like that. I wouldn't call it a digestion walk, but it is a chance to get moving, let the micros be utilised, and also just give my stomach the ability to churn, move around a little bit. That's not gonna happen if you're sedentary all day and just sat around, like a cabbage. Hence why the more you sit around in a day, the more you feel like shit. So yeah, got to keep moving, not just for the food, but also just for my health, well-being. A few steps in between these meals, and then I'll be back for meal 2. I will prep that up and show you guys, but it's nothing exciting, to be honest. It's another carbless meal. And although I'm like 10 kilos, I think I'm 10 kilos off my old stage weight, or off my old pre-peak stage weight anyway, I feel really, really good. And I think I'm not 10 kilos off my stage weight now. That's the most important thing, because I have genuinely put on a serious amount of tissue. I don't want to overestimate what that could be, so I go off my old stage weight realistically, because I don't want to overestimate what that stage weight will be. But I know that I'm definitely, I'm in good hands, man. Like, I've got probably 8.5 kilos before I think I would be skinned, which is really cool. I think a couple of kilos past this is, or a kilo or 2 past this is where I'd probably end up like leaving a pre-prep situation. But if I can get a little bit past that, I probably will, just so I can set up this next runway to be as large as possible. And lifts are still retaining in the gym. I still feel good energy wise. I'm not starving. Like, food is low. You've got to remember, I'm a lightweight, right? My stage weight is going to be sub 70 kilos or around 70 kilos. I'm a lightweight, so food needs to go low. But I also don't have the same amount of muscle as a heavyweight, where I'll lose that by going low on food. So relative, I'm not really in a bad spot. I'm being like 1800 food or whatever I'm on, 1800 food. It's not really a bad thing, not a problem. And continuing to trend down at a good capacity now. Weighed in at 77 this morning. So I think my averages are going to be down another like 0.7 kilos for the week. And if I can just continue that for maybe another 3, pull off another 2 to 3 kilos, then I'll probably be in a really good spot around the 74s. So to nib into the 74s would be something that I'd be really happy to do. And then I can obviously see how much room I've got then to start this push up before I look at the same again, just repeating the cycle. But yeah, we'll continue to finish off this walk with G, because I'm missing Georgia and the dog. They're walking ahead of me and I'm getting jealous. I'm getting broody. I want my kid back. Let me show you guys. I want my child back, so I will catch you guys in a mo when I head back to the house to prep the second meal. So as you can see, meal number 2, 1 whole pepper. I literally chucked that in the air fryer. I had DC'd it, chopped the hat off, DC'd it, chuck it in the air fryer, leave it in there. It comes out as the best thing ever. So soft. I put it on like 160 or 170 for 20 minutes, and it comes out perfect. With some chopped tomato and chicken. As you can see, varying through like colours, textures with my micronutrients through my meals. So spinach in my first meal, peppers, tomato in this meal. My pre-meal will have peppers, tomato, bit of lettuce in my salmon meal. My post-workout will usually have some pineapple with that. Same with my pre actually, and then my final meal of the day will have some berries in it or some breakfast topper, which is like mango and so on, just so I can make sure that I cover a variant of different micronutrients, so that I don't have to rely on purely supplementation to get me what I need out of a day. And I think that's one big thing, is making sure that this stays in year round. A lot of people lose this in the off season. It's only going to cause detriment to yourself. So yeah. And now that meal's wrapped up, something that I thought I'd mention: getting yourself a good scale, really, really useful. This one was like 19.99 from Engineered Muscle. It is big scale here, and then you have like a little salt scale here. They have 2 separate readers that pop up on each channel. Making sure you've got some good scales in the house will genuinely help you so much with tracking. It's something you're going to use every single day. You're going to use it more than you use the stuff that you fucking train with. You're going to have 4 or 5 meals a day compared to training once. So just put some quality, some value behind it. It'll make a massive difference. But yeah, those are the scales that I'm using at the moment, the Engineered Muscle ones. Forgot to mention as well, I have 10 grams of this with my meal too. It's Lindt 70% dark chocolate. It's got like a touch of caramel in there. Banging. Yes, you do not have to have 85% dark chocolate to consider yourself a bodybuilder. I'm sick. Yes. Check the spice rack. Time for my third meal, my pre-meal. Probably the most exciting of meals of the day. I have it half prepped in the fridge because it just makes my life so much easier, so much faster as well, if I can get my meals like part prepped in advance. I've even got the pepper in there in its own little glass tub. But yeah, I've got a salmon fillet, 1 salmon fillet, usually around 120 grams. They're pre-weighed like Tesco's salmon fillets. Get that in the air fryer, then I put a pepper in the air fryer whole again with some more tomatoes, etc., a little bit of lettuce, and then I will have 250 grams of white potato with that as well. That's in the air fryer at the minute, because so satiating, and although a little fibrous for pre maybe, very, very filling and satiates me through my session, because there's nothing like training and being hungry, because that can do like such a burden for you, and all you're thinking about when you're training is like food. It's a bit of a killer. So yeah, we'll get that prepped up now and then show you guys the result, and then we'll get that down in about 90 or so minutes. We will head out for the gym, maybe a little bit sooner depending. But basically, between my pre-meal and me training, I don't have to do fancy math of like how much fibre is in the meal, how long it should take to digest. I've got a fucking stomach for that. So what I do is I just literally decide when my stomach feels like the food's settled, and when I also feel like it's been utilised. It's usually for this meal around like an hour and 15, and then I'll just start driving to the gym, sort my intro out, sorry, and then get headed down. There's nothing to overthink. Sometimes you just ignore the data, the science, all the fluff, and you go off what you feel. You go off what you feel. Putting stuff into practice, man. A lot of people don't do that. So yeah, get this in the microwave, and then we'll show you guys the result and we'll go eat. At the same time, let me show you guys the IntraStack. Creatine on a rest day I'll take in the mornings because I take 10 grams. Should have some sort of cognitive benefits, so me running that in the AM kind of makes sense, but on a training day I just like having it in my intra. So we've got 10 grams of creatine going in the intra. We've got 11.5 grams of aminos from Naughty Boy, and then we've got the goated cyclic dextrin, Applied Nutrition, Carbex. Honestly, I'm not a big Applied Nutrition fanboy. I get none of my stuff from there really, to be honest. I've not looked up the panel to trust it enough. But this is the gold. Very cost efficient, genuinely the best cyclic dextrin I've ever used. And no, I'm not sponsored by any of these places if my subscriber count doesn't give that away. So yeah, we'll make up the intro as well. Thought I'd give you guys that as well whilst I was there. Obviously, a gram of salt going into the intro, a gram of salt in the pre-meal as well. Very good for pumps and stuff, making sure you've got a good sodium count going into training. So that's why I have 2 grams through these 2 meals total. And people think that's high sodium, but when you think about what's in a McDonald's, it's not high sodium. But yeah, we'll get the intro made as well at the same time so I can fly out the door as soon as I've finished with my afternoon check-ins, and then we'll get in the gym for upper. Yes, people. So en route to the gym for upper. Very, very exciting session. One, because I'm a fair amount down since the last time I got in for this work. I think about 1 kilo, maybe 1.2 across the board, because I only train it once every 7 days with the way my split aligns. So my current split being upper, lower arms, rest, pull, legs, rest, repeat. So no 2 of my sessions are actually the same. I've got a variation-ish of push, pull, legs, upper, lower. But instead of a push day, my chest frequencies essentially added onto my upper session. I only do 3 sets of pressing anyway for my chest across the week. And then what would be a push day is then replaced with an arm day. So with me only training it once every 7 days, it means that I've either got new highs or new lows by the time I come round to this session again. And it also means that I have to pick movements that I can stay at the same level with skill acquisition. Imagine having a deload, and then you've on top of that only train the same session once every 7 days. You could go 3 rotations, maybe so on, without actually training that session. So making sure that exercise selection is smart in terms of stuff that gives a lot of external stability and stuff like that, especially with the point I'm at now where I am getting a little bit harder. I'm not so pudgy to touch at the minute, which is nice. But yeah, in for upper, an opportunity to progress all the musculature from the hip upwards. So exciting, we've got bicep, tricep work, delt, pec, back work, everything across the board to get in for today. So a long one, a big one, and an exciting one. We'll catch you guys in a mo when I get to the gym, because there's nothing exciting going on right now. Just me cutting through Manchester traffic as usual. I need to make sure we're looking at moving right now, me and G. So I need to make sure when we move house, damn, even 10 minutes, just get me a little bit closer to the gym, because in no traffic it's 10 minutes or so. In traffic it's Jesus Christ, man, it can take you 40 minutes to get to the gym in Manchester, which is awful. I do not want to be sat twiddling my fingers waiting to train for 40 minutes. So get me 5 minutes closer to the gym, and in traffic that'll be 15 minutes. That'll do a lot for me. So I will catch you guys when I get over there in a more. yo, more work and 2 more meals to go down. So we've got some rice cakes, which I've started delving into, 6 of them, a lot of salt, and 150 grams of chicken with 100 grams of pineapple on the side as my post-workout meal. That bromelain from the pineapple breaking down the chicken, absolutely immaculate together. People will mock it, but genuinely, you gotta double them up. You gotta put those together. Get a little jerk action. Then my last meal, which you're not gonna see me eat because it's late. I got to crack on. It's like nearly 8 p.m. We've got a meeting with Adam soon, and then we've also got our last meal to eat before bed. But this is what will be waiting in the fridge. So it's 300 grams of Greek yogurt, 10 grams of whey, ESN flavour powder, and some breakfast topper, a mixture of berries, strawberry, mango, pineapple there, and banging stuff. Basically a big cake bowl. It's cracking. Fixes my appetite up before I go to bed so that I can sleep and I'm not hungry through the night. So last 2 meals there. Full day of eating wrapped up, and a very good upper session. Thank you for tuning in, people. I will do more of these in the future as well. I definitely need to stay on top of them. So yeah, more full day of eatings to come. People love to see them, so I'll make more of them. But I will catch you guys on the other side.